Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So before I get into today's video, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who's been watching my last Scotland video, who's been leaving me nice comments and just tuned in, all the new subscribers and everybody who's just come to the channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the videos, and I see that my channel is gaining traction as well, so I'm just really grateful for everyone who's just been watching and commenting and leaving me all this love. It really means a lot to me. You know, I work as a model, so I don't really get to tap a lot into my creativity and creating, and people don't want to care, they don't care about like what I have to say or my personality a lot of the time. They just care of like how I look and how I present. So it's really great to have you guys like tune into the channel and give me feedback and just, you know, have a nice discussion about my life in Scotland and just give your feedback on that and everything. So thank you guys so much. It truly does mean like the world to me. You have no idea. So thank you guys. If you're new to the channel, please just subscribe, like the videos, tune into some of my older videos as well, and let's be friends. So if you can't tell, I'm filming from a little bit of a different location. I'm not at my house in Scotland, and in fact, I'm not in Scotland anymore. I will make a video telling you guys why I left Scotland and what's going on with me, but I don't know, I had to come back to New York City, so I'm in Manhattan. Right now, I'm literally in a hotel, just a bit of a transition until I get into my apartment that I'm going to be staying in for the next couple of months. But yeah, I'm back here. It's been tough to be back in the United States, and Manhattan, particularly New York City, it really just asks a lot of you. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's been really tough. It's been a tough transition, and I'm kind of having a bit of reverse culture shock right now as well. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of come on here and just kind of give my perspective of being back in the United States. And I guess you could honestly say that, like I said, I'm having a bit of reverse culture shock, but it also has kind of like put in perspective for me like what's really important for me in life. I think that where I am in life right now, my goals are changing, my desires are changing, and I kind of just want more of a settled lifestyle. I'm not really into the rat race anymore. Like, New York City is the type of place you come, it makes you rise to the occasion. You come here to achieve certain goals, you come here to hustle, you come here to make money. But when I was living in Scotland, I had more of a softer life. I had, I think, a better quality of life, if I'm honest. I was able to like heal on a soul level. Scotland is such a healing place for me, and I really miss it. So that's what today's video is going to be about. It's going to be about what I miss about Scotland. And yeah, so I'll have a few things that I want to say, maybe just 5 or 6 things that I missed, but trust me, the list is a lot longer than that. So yeah, let's get into it. So I have my little notebook here that I wrote down most of the things that I miss. It's a long list, but I'm just going to narrow it down to some of the major things. If I would talk about everything that I missed, then I would be here all day, and this would be like a 30-minute video, and I'm already a certified yapper, so let's get the video going. So the first thing that I absolutely miss, of course, is the love of my life, my partner. We're doing the long distance thing just for temporary for a while, and we've done it before, so we know how to navigate it. But relationships, you know, they're work. So even when you're dating someone long distance, you have to put in like double the effort, you know, to keep the connection. But we're both doing it, and we're both okay with it. But I miss him so much. I miss the family. I miss everything about being with him and his family. We have our house in Scotland, and, you know, I just miss being able to just hug him and hold him and feel him and things like that. You know, the things that most couples take for granted. He has actually come to the United States. He visited me in 2024 when I was living in Los Angeles. And that was a time, that was so much fun, but I like our life in Scotland, and I'm more than willing to move over there, as you guys know, and be with him and start my life there. So we're working on that process. But yeah, I miss him, I miss his family, his mom, everybody. I just miss them all so much. You know, they're my family now at this point, and I'm probably a lot closer to his family than I am to my own. So Miss you guys. If you're watching this, I'll see you soon. So the next thing that's on my list, I guess comparing it to New York City, I missed having a slower pace of life. I really took that for granted when I was out in Scotland. I missed the stillness of living in Scotland. I missed having, peace and quiet. We had our home. We weren't living in an apartment. Um, it was just a softer quality of life for me. I was able to do some writing and really get like back in touch with my creativity. And by the way, speaking of that, like I admire so many of the Scottish writers. So many of the greats have gone to Scotland just to do writing. Think what you want about her, but J.K. Rowling, she did writing there. Robert Louis Stevenson, he wrote amazing stories from Scotland. Robbie Burns as well, the Scotsman himself. He wrote a lot of great stories as well from Scotland, and he's a Scotsman, so I wanted to go there and just heal from the rat race being here in New York City. And I was able to do that. I really got a taste of it. And, I have to get back to my life. That's kind of how I feel right now. But we were visiting a little countryside town. I won't say which one, but we were visiting a little countryside town. And I was just channeled this story. I'm a writer, if you don't know that as well. I've written a couple of poetry books, but I wanted to get back into it. And I've never written like a fiction book or nonfiction, but I was channeled this story as we were walking around in this little cute countryside town. And I thought, okay, this is the perfect place to write a book. So I'm going to be doing that when I go back. But yeah, I just miss being able to just kind of quiet my mind, the stillness. I miss having tea, just a better quality, still quiet life. And I miss that so much. So the second thing, or the next thing that I miss, is I miss feeling safe, being able to walk around. I loved going just around Edinburgh and just being able, sometimes I wouldn't even have like a destination. I would just take long walks. And you can do that here in Manhattan, and you see, there's thousands of people around you. But, in those thousands of people, you might run across like the wrong person, or you might run across somebody who's not so friendly. And that's another thing that I miss about living in Scotland. Scottish people were just so friendly and kind and inviting, and I love their humor. And I love when they would talk to me. Sometimes it's not like guys or anything. It would just be like elderly ladies would just talk to me and ask me like, oh, what are you doing here? What are you studying? Just make general friendly conversation. And I miss having that so much. I'm not saying that people don't talk to me here in the city, but, people are more cautious. They kind of just stay to themselves. I guess that's just like the American way, just kind of be standoffish and stuff, especially up here on the East Coast. But I miss that so much. I miss the friendliness. I miss being able to walk around safely and just not have anyone bother you, and just kind of zone out and ground yourself and be present in the world. Here, you gotta be on guard. You gotta watch out. You gotta navigate where you're walking. You gotta navigate other people. You never get to turn off here. And that's been really difficult for me to readjust to, because I don't know when's the last time I had a good quality of sleep. Probably when I left Scotland. So, all right. So let's see. The next thing that I miss being able, like, we would go out. My boyfriend, he drives. He would take me everywhere. I really don't drive. I don't have a license to yet, and I never needed to, because I lived in Los Angeles and New York City, and we have good transit in both. Well, not good. We have transit in both of those places, so I never really needed to learn how to drive, and I never picked that up. I tried a couple of times, but I'm really like trash at it. But anyway, he would drive us around. We'd go places, and I literally just missed being able to drive down the road and see beautiful nature, see the countryside, see the greenery. I miss being able to see like farm animals. I would always see cows. I would always see sheep and horses, and you just see this stuff as you're just driving down the road. It's really unheard of for a person coming from New York City. And I just miss that so much. I miss being able to interact with I don't know. I would stop and I would like go, not pet the animals or anything like that, but I would just, like go get pictures of them or something like that, if that was allowed. If it wasn't like a private property or something, I would do that. But yeah, I miss seeing cows and sheep on the road and seeing horses and just seeing animals as you're going on your destination. It's such a beautiful thing to see in real life. It's so picturesque. And I think Scottish people probably, they're so used to it that they don't really care, because every time I saw a sheep, I'd just point, sheep, and my boyfriend would be like, yeah, yeah, sheep. But it's not like that here. Obviously, in New York City, I mean, I think the only animal you probably see in New York City are rats, and nobody like wants to see that. So, but I think that's probably the only animal that you're gonna cross paths with, and yeah, it scares the hell out of me when I see them here. You'll see like a gang of rats. You'll be walking in Central Park and you'll see like a gang of rats scurry across your path. And I'm always the one who screams. So I just can't help it. Like, I will never get used to that. But yeah, that's the only animal that you're going to see in New York City, and dogs and all of that. So one time I saw a lady walking her cat as well. Like, she had her cat on a leash and I'd never seen that. So that was interesting. But yeah, that's one thing that I miss. And like I said, I miss being able to see just like the beautiful architecture, the Gothic, the cathedrals, the churches, like all of this beauty that has been there for centuries. And I guess you could say, well, you guys have all these amazing buildings in New York City as well, but it's not really the same. The culture is different, and um, Edinburgh has a very distinctive, Scotland in general has a very distinctive architecture. And I just miss that so much. There's so much character and history as you walk through the city. And I said this in my last video, so I won't keep repeating myself, but there's so much character in Edinburgh. And what kills me the most is that, yeah, we have all of these great buildings in Manhattan, but all this stuff is, it's man-made. There's always new things coming up, so I guess it keeps you interested, but it doesn't have the same distinctive culture, the same vibe. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I just miss that so much. I'm getting a little bit sad now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, so we'll move on to the next thing. Okay, so the next thing that I have here on my list, I miss the scenic nature in the parks. I miss being able to hike like Arthur's Seat or going to Holyrood, like even going to the shops to just grab something. It was always very scenic and beautiful, and I just miss like real nature. Of course, here in New York City, we have what is it? Central Park, we have Riverside Park, we have a lot of constructed and curated spaces, but a lot of it's man-made. It's not nature. So I miss that a lot. I really took that for granted. I would always go to like this area of Scotland. It's called Dalkeith. I would always go there and I'd walk to the Abbey, and it was just this beautiful, calm, serene. None of it's constructed by man, by the way. It's just all real, and it was very grounding, and I miss being able to take my nature countryside walks. So that's another thing that I think I took for granted and really helped with like my mental health and just grounding me in the here and now. And I think people in Scotland probably, they just don't know how good they have it, because Central Park can't really compare to Arthur's Seat or Hollywood Park or something like that. So I miss that a lot. All right, so let's see. The last thing that I have on my list, because I don't want to make this video too long, I miss hearing the Scottish accent. That's one of the things that I love about my boyfriend. He has a very thick, authentic Scottish accent, and yeah, I miss that so much. I remember we were sending each other voice messages like before we like really started dating, and I just fell in love with the accent, and now I love hearing it. I mean, I would hear it in school, my university professors, I would hear it, and it was very difficult sometimes for me to like kind of understand what they were saying, so I would listen very intently. And yeah, it would be funny because I probably looked like I was really like paying attention to them in class, but I was really just trying to understand. But all in all, in a nutshell, I just miss hearing the accent. I miss hearing cheers. I miss hearing you all right. I miss hearing the the way that Scottish people speak and just the lingo that they use. I miss all of that because, here in New York City, not everyone talks like me. The other day in the hotel, I got on the elevator and someone was speaking French. So there's all kinds of people here, but I just miss hearing that accent and hearing, all the phrases and stuff that Scottish people use. All right, you guys, so I think that is all I'm going to list for today. I might make a part two of this video. I'm not really sure, but if I make this video go any longer, then I'll be rambling all day, like about food and all these other things that I miss that aren't as important. The good news is that I will be back in Scotland. I'll be coming back late October, and I'm super excited about that. Very relieved to be coming back home as well. And I will be showing more of my journey and more Scotland content. So if you're new here, please subscribe and just hang out with me along my journey of, just kind of navigating two places, navigating the US, navigating Scotland. And yeah, in the comments, share with me if you're navigating two places or you feel like one place makes you feel more at home, because that's how I feel. I feel much more like myself at home in Scotland, and I'm looking forward to getting back to that. But yeah, if you're feeling that way, or if you just love Scotland, or you love a place that you want to talk about, please share it in the comments and just subscribe and keep with me on this journey, and I'll be sharing a lot more of my Scotland content with you guys. Thank you for everybody that tuned in. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back with another one. I think my next video is probably going to be more in depth about why I left Scotland and why I'm here for these couple of months in New York City. I'll just kind of go into like the whole visa thing and all of that stuff and kind of give you guys a rundown. So if you're interested, please continue to watch, subscribe, share my channel with your friends, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.